At the beginning of the story, we're taken to the colorful streets of Havana, where an elderly musician named Andres lives with his loyal companion, a lively little kinkajou named Vivo. Every day, Andres and Vivo perform music in the town square. Andres plays his guitar, and Vivo adds his own rhythm and charm. That's how they make their living, and honestly, it's how they share their joy with the world. While singing, Vivo tells his story. As a baby, he was being transported in a truck when his crate suddenly fell onto the road. Two dogs attacked him, and terrified, he ran for his life. Just when things seemed hopeless, Andres appeared and rescued him, bringing him home. From that moment on, they became family. After finishing one of their performances, Andres and Vivo sit by the roadside. That's when a man named Montoya approaches and hands Andres a letter. It's from his long-lost friend, Marta. Andres reads the letter aloud. Marta writes that she's retiring from music, and her final show will be on June 16th at the famous Bombay Cabana in Miami. She invites Andres to join her on stage one last time. She even says that if he shows up with his guitar, she'll know he missed her too. Inside the envelope, she's included a ticket just for him. Andres' eyes light up with happiness. He shouts Marta's name so loudly that everyone nearby hears him. The townspeople encourage him to go. It's her last show. You have to be there, they say. But Vivo doesn't want to leave. Miami feels too big, too far away. Andres hesitates too, saying he's too old for such a long journey. Yet the townspeople insist, even gathering money to help send him to Miami. That night, Andres pulls out an old chest. Inside is a photograph of him and Marta from years ago. He tells Vivo that Marta's voice once filled all of Cuba with magic, and that he loved her deeply. After one performance long ago, he had planned to confess his feelings, but before he could, Marta received an offer from America, an invitation to perform in Miami at the Bombay Cabana. It was her dream come true, so Andres stayed silent. He let her go chase her dream. After she left, Andres was heartbroken. He wrote her a song she never heard. Now he says he finally has a second chance to deliver it. As Andres sings the song, he asks Vivo to pack for Miami, but Vivo refuses. We're just small-town musicians, he insists. We belong in the plaza, not in Miami. Andres gently tells him, this song, I have to give it to her, and I need you with me. Vivo walks away. Conflicted, alone, he reflects on his childhood, on how Andres saved him and gave him a home. He realizes that if Andres reunites with Marta, it would make him happier than ever. So Vivo finally decides he'll go to Miami too. The next morning, Vivo wakes up and goes to Andres, but Andres is gone. He passed away in his sleep. Vivo is devastated. As a sudden gust of wind blows through the room, Andres' handwritten song flies out the window. Panicked, Vivo chases after it and manages to grab it just before it falls into the water. Later, Montoya gathers everyone to honor Andres. He tells the crowd that Andres was a beautiful soul, a man who was about to reunite with the love of his life. But maybe fate had other plans. Montoya introduces Andres' relative, Rosa. She explains that Andres was her late husband's uncle, and that she and her daughter Gabi have come from Florida. Gabi gently speaks to Vivo. She says she understands his pain. Her father passed away too. We're family, she tells him, and family shows up for each other. She invites Vivo to come with them, but Vivo walks away, still overwhelmed with grief. As the townspeople say their final goodbyes, Montoya plays one of Andres' songs, and the music fills the air one last time. The next morning, Vivo places flowers in front of Andres' photo. He softly sings a heartfelt song, remembering the man who saved him and gave him a home. Nearby, Gabi plays a gentle melody on her flute. Rosa asks what she's doing. Gabi smiles and says she's playing a tune so Vivo will hear it and follow her back to Florida. Rosa quickly shuts that idea down. We don't need another pet, she says, and animals aren't allowed on the plane anyway. Just then, Montoya arrives with some of Andres' belongings. Since Gabi loves music just like her grandfather did, Rosa allows her to keep a few things. Gabi starts playing Andres' old organ and lights up with joy. Meanwhile, Vivo quietly sneaks into Gabi's luggage. He's made up his mind. He will deliver Andres' song to Marta, no matter what. So he hides in the bag and ends up traveling with Rosa and Gabi to their home in Florida. At home, Rosa brings Gabi a uniform and reminds her that today is her first cookie sale with the Sand Dollar Troupe. But Gabi refuses to go. She even shows her mom a dramatic resignation video she made about quitting the troupe. Rosa insists she go anyway. Inside the bag, Vivo struggles to get out. The bag starts rolling across the floor. Gabi freezes in fear. She thinks Andres' ghost might be inside. Slowly, she builds up the courage to unzip it, and out pops Vivo. Gabi screams in excitement. Vivo screams in terror. Gabi immediately assumes he followed her because he likes her and starts putting a friendship bracelet on him. But Vivo is not impressed. He tries to escape just as Rosa walks in. Gabi quickly tells Vivo to hide. Rosa doesn't notice anything and leaves after reminding Gabi to put on her uniform. Once they're alone, Gabi tells Vivo that her mom doesn't understand her. She feels different from the other kids. She starts singing and dancing dramatically around the room. Vivo uses the distraction to run off. While going through Andres' belongings, Gabi finds Marta's letter. Meanwhile, Vivo explores Florida, trying to find Marta on his own. He even sneaks onto a bus heading toward Miami. But when the passengers see him, they panic. The bus driver kicks him off. A stray dog approaches Vivo and says he looks cute and tasty. Realizing the dog wants to eat him, Vivo runs for his life and heads back to Gabi's house. When he returns, Gabi figures it out. "You're trying to get to Marta, aren't you?" she says. She admits she read the letter and knows Andres was supposed to sing with her at her show. Vivo hands her the handwritten song. Gabi understands instantly. Andres wrote this for Marta, and Vivo is determined to deliver it. She offers to help and quickly comes up with a plan. She tells Vivo to hide in her backpack. Vivo looks at the messy bag in horror. It's dirty and chaotic, but he doesn't have a choice. He climbs in. Gabi asks her mom if she can go to Marta's show, but Rosa refuses and tells her to focus on the cookie sale instead. So Gabi checks the bus schedule to Miami on her laptop and secretly leaves the house. Reporters surround her, asking if her old partner will join her on stage. She smiles softly and says, "We can always hope." Gabi and Vivo reach the bus station and buy tickets to Miami. At the same time, we meet the Sand Dollar girls, Eva, Sarah, and Becky, who sell cookies to raise money for environmental causes. Gabi tries to sneak away from them, but Becky spots her. She confronts Gabi about not wearing her uniform and reminds her that Sand Dollar rules require full uniform participation. Gabi awkwardly claims she thought the cookie sale was tomorrow. Becky quickly points out she missed yesterday too. Gabi blurts out that she was busy saving Vivo. Becky eyes the kinkajou suspiciously. His eyes aren't even clear. "Do you have a vaccination certificate?" Of course, Gabi doesn't. So she makes an excuse about going to get one and runs off. But by the time they reach the platform, their bus to Miami is gone. Gabi looks at Vivo and says, "We can catch the bus on my bike." She takes off pedaling fast, and the Sand Dollar girls chase right behind her. They race onto a drawbridge just as a large ship approaches. The bridge begins to lift. Without thinking, Gabi jumps her bike, but she doesn't make it across. Instead, she and Vivo crash down onto the passing ship below. Becky turns to Eva and says, "We have to save Vivo." Determined, they decide to follow Gabi using Eva's dad's boat. On the ship, Gabi tells Vivo that if they travel by water, they'll reach Miami faster. Vivo spots an inflatable tube and tosses it into the water. Gabi places her bike inside it, but the extra weight pops the tube. Vivo is furious. He starts shouting in frustration. Thinking quickly, Gabi builds a small raft out of scrap materials on the ship and tosses Vivo onto it. She jumps in after him, but slips into the water first, before climbing back onto the raft. Back at home, Rosa walks into Gabi's room and sees the bus ticket to Miami open on her laptop. She realizes Gabi has run away, and she is not happy. Immediately, Rosa heads toward Miami to bring her daughter back. Vivo feels nervous in the wild. Gabi tells him that whenever she's scared, she sings. She tries teaching him how to play drums. She's not very good, but Vivo turns out to be surprisingly talented. Soon, he's singing confidently. Suddenly, a heavy storm hits, the river swells, and they're swept away in the rushing water. Andres' precious song slips from their hands. Vivo scrambles up a tree trying to catch it, but Gabi grabs the page first, only to be carried away by the current. From high in the tree, Vivo screams her name. There's no answer. He falls to the ground, alone. That's when he meets a quirky bird named Dancarino. Vivo explains he's looking for a friend. She looks kind of messy and asks the bird to help him search from above, but Dancarino refuses. He says he's going into a deep sleep and won't help anyone. Years have passed, and he's never found his true love. Vivo makes a deal. "I'll help you win her heart if you help me find my friend." Vivo encourages Dancarino to confess his feelings to Valentina, the bird he admires. With Vivo's coaching, Dancarino showers her with compliments. Valentina is charmed. Soon, the two birds fly off together into the sky, happily reunited. But Vivo is alone again. She quietly asks her assistant if there's any word from Andres. Her assistant gently says no. In the jungle, Gabi searches desperately for the song page. The Sand Dollar girls finally catch up to her and ask about Vivo. Gabi admits she lost him. Becky says firmly, "Then you'll need our help to find him." Gabi refuses at first, but then Becky reveals something shocking. She has the song page Gabi was searching for. With no choice, Gabi agrees to work with them. Elsewhere in the jungle, Vivo shouts Gabi's name again and again. A nearby chameleon warns him to stay quiet, but Vivo keeps yelling. Suddenly, a massive python named Lutador grabs him. "I don't like noise," Lutador hisses. "Every animal here follows my rule." Vivo sees how all the jungle animals live in silence because of him. Vivo promises to stay quiet, but Lutador begins to swallow him anyway. Vivo escapes by climbing a tree and leaping away. Just as Lutador is about to strike again, Dancarino swoops in and rescues Vivo, carrying him into the air to search for Gabi. Meanwhile, Gabi and the Sand Dollar girls are still searching when Lutador attacks them. They run and hide inside a hollow tree, but the giant snake coils around it, trapping them. Gabi and Becky scream for help. That's when Vivo appears. Lutador charges toward him, but Vivo cleverly distracts and outsmarts the snake, finally trapping him by tying him up in tree vines. The girls cheer. Gabi asks Becky for the song page, but in the chaos it falls into the water. The ink runs. The paper tears. Andres' song is ruined. At that same moment in Miami, Marta's assistant quietly tells her the heartbreaking news. Andres has passed away. Marta is devastated. After everything that happened, Vivo and the others begin heading back. Vivo is heartbroken. The song was ruined. Andres is gone, and the dream feels over. Dancarino lands beside him and gently asks, "So what now?" Vivo sighs and says he'll just go back to Havana. But Gabby isn't ready to give up. She starts humming the melody. Vivo quickly says, "That's not how it goes." He grabs a flute and plays the correct tune. Gabby's eyes light up. "I know the lyrics." Vivo knows the melody. Gabby remembers the words. Together, they can rewrite the song. Gabby asks the Sand Dollar Girls to take them by boat to Miami. On the ride, she pulls up a keyboard app on her phone. Vivo plays the melody, and Gabby writes down the notes and lyrics. Piece by piece, they rebuild Andres' song. Back in Miami, Sarah asks the bus driver if he's seen Gabby, but he refuses to share any information. Gabby sneaks toward the venue, the legendary Bembe Cabana, but security stops her and asks for a ticket. Right then, Rosa arrives. Gabby runs again. She reaches a backstage room, but the door is locked, so she sends Vivo through the ventilation system to open it from the inside. Unfortunately, the door is padlocked. Gabby kneels down and realizes something important. "You'll have to go to Marta alone." She slips the best friend's bracelet onto Vivo's wrist. Just then, Rosa catches Gabby and pulls her away. Inside the dressing room, Vivo finally reaches Marta. She looks at him closely and recognizes him instantly. "You're Vivo," she whispers. She asks what he's doing there. Vivo hands her the rewritten song. Marta reads it, and her hands begin to tremble. "Andres wrote this for me." Tears fill her eyes. She realizes Andres never told her how he truly felt. She hugs Vivo gently and thanks him. "Tonight," she says softly, "I'm going to sing Andres his song." Outside, Rosa is still upset with Gabby, but Gabby explains that delivering that song was important because Andres never got to say what was in his heart. Rosa isn't convinced until Vivo suddenly jumps onto Sarah's car and reunites with Gabby. Gabby hugs him tightly. Rosa looks at her daughter and finally understands. Gabby admits that she never got to tell her own dad how much she loved him, just like Andres never told Marta. Rosa gently tells her, "Your dad knew. He always knew how much you loved him." And for the first time, Gabby believes it. Rosa takes Gabby and Vivo back to the show. On stage, Marta steps into the spotlight. She tells the audience that her final song tonight is very special and that some new friends helped bring it to her. Then she begins singing Andres' song. As her voice fills the room, she thinks of Andres. Vivo closes his eyes, remembering the man who saved him. The entire audience is moved. The song Andres wrote finally reaches the heart it was meant for. The next day, life feels brighter. Vivo gets ready with Gabby in Florida. Together, they begin performing music on the streets, just like he once did with Andres. As they sing, someone familiar joins them, Marta. She smiles and starts singing alongside Vivo and Gabby. Rosa even begins dancing to the music. And in that beautiful moment filled with love, music, and second chances, the story comes to a joyful, heartfelt end. If this touched your heart, share it with someone special. And don't forget to subscribe for more emotional stories like this. Keep spreading love and let the music live on.